On today's episode of Changebreakers, we're going back in time to observe what life was like as the first Inuk to be drafted into the NHL and the impact he's made for his indigenous community. I am Tia Harvey, and this is the story of Jordin Tootoo and his inspiration. According to the Canadian Encyclopedia, Jordin was born February 2nd, 1983 in Churchill, Manitoba. He has two siblings, a sister Corinne and one brother Terrence, who sadly ended his own life on August 28, 2002 after being the first Inuk to play professional hockey. Before this happened, Jordin grew up in Rankin Inlet, Nunavut. At the young age of 14, he was already leaving home to play hockey at a AAA level in Spruce Grove, Alberta. That same season, his brother was playing Junior A for the OCA and Blizzard. In the wake of Jordin's brother's death in 2002, Jordin really started focusing on hockey. It was his own way of coping. As a result, the next season, 2003, Jordin went to the World Junior Hockey Championships with Team Canada, the first Inuit to do so. The next season, he started playing with the Nashville Predators. From there, Tootoo has come to be the first Inuk to play in the NHL. For the next 8 seasons, Jordin played for the Nashville Predators, creating quite a popular name in Predator history with his fearless, diligent, and skilled mindset. Throughout the years before Jordin's brother's death, he's had open access and familiarity with alcohol, but it was never a greater issue. As the years went on playing professional hockey, his need for alcohol became more intense to the point where in 2010, Jordin willingly entered the NHL's substance abuse program. As they say, fame and fortune fuels drinking. And ever since then, he's been sober, visiting communities, and sharing his own story. In 2011, Jordin Tootoo created the foundation Team Tootoo because he wanted to give back. His foundation helps many charities, including nonprofits, about suicide awareness and prevention. He says that, "I feel that it's my calling to share my story with our indigenous communities, to help our kids, the future of our people." A year later, Jordin overcame his addiction and signed a contract with the Detroit Red Wings for 2 seasons until he went to play in New Jersey. Later on, he announced his retirement October of 2018 and wanted to focus on giving back to his indigenous community. After Jordin's unbelievable career playing in the NHL and his powerful journey through many obstacles, he's continued on with his foundation and continued to help and support different indigenous communities. He even explained why he was retiring, and that was to focus his attention on indigenous communities and helping young kids through the challenges of life. Visiting different indigenous communities, Jordin is realizing how many young kids are dealing with the same struggles, and notices the suicide, mental health, and substance abuse rates are high. He begins to share his own personal story to hopefully inspire young kids and connect with them. He wants them to know that despite all of his personal challenges, he persevered and got the help he needed and had a successful journey in the NHL. He explained how he grew up in a household where no man shows weakness or cries. With this mindset and the stress of showing any weakness, he bottled up his emotions for many years and only focused on hockey. As years went on, eventually he couldn't handle his emotions and believed alcohol was the better solution than embracing what he's gone through. When visiting the communities, he's noticed similar struggles, therefore his passion and commitment is to not only help those in need in the community, but furthermore prevent kids from what happened to himself, where he only focused on hockey and never gave himself a chance to actually feel and embrace his emotions. It was like he's been imprisoned his whole life, unable to communicate. Jordin not only visits indigenous communities and spreads awareness, but he also inspires many in the sports community. A lot of young athletes go through individual struggles and don't exactly know how to work through them, or they're afraid of showing weakness. Jordin's story shows many young athletes how to conquer these setbacks and achieve their athletic dream. Ethan Bear, for example, indigenous hockey player for Edmonton and now the Carolina Hurricanes. In an interview article by the Oilers Nations, they asked what stars he followed and who he could relate to being a First Nations kid. Ethan mentions Carey Price and Jonathan Cheechoo, but as well as Jordin Tootoo. They said, many kids in Saskatchewan are Oilers fans or Flames fans, But Bears heroes were those you could relate to: Carey Price, Jordin Tootoo, and Jordin Tootoo. Jordin is not only a star on the ice, but off the ice as well. He inspires so many young kids to chase their dreams and persevere through whatever obstacles life throws at you. And to this day, he is still helping and supporting Indigenous communities and spreading awareness about suicide and further helping to prevent some. Thank you for listening to this episode of Changemakers, and make sure to check out the others.